Hello and welcome to the Quack podcast. It's a post E3 special, after E3 special, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, we're going to be talking about E3, which happened last week.
Yep.
And yeah, it seems that a lot of people doing talking about E3 and talking about and discussing it and having podcasts about it. So we thought we would jump on the bandwagon as well. So as usual. So
Yep.
we'll get stuck right into it. As usual, there are conferences before the actual E3 event starts. But before all the conferences, there was a number of leaks.
A number of leaks, like a lot of leaks.
Don't think I have ever I've ever seen an event or there's been that many leaks of an event
Yeah.
ever.
But even during the event itself, we were still getting leaks. Like, obviously the event had started, and when it was coming up to the Microsoft conference, stuff from the Microsoft conference was leaked
Yeah.
just before.
It's just it was it that Agents of Mayhem was leaked like a day before it should have got leaked. A day before it should have got announced by IGN.
Yeah.
Dishonored 2 was leaked to be at the Bethesda conference.
Yeah. But
Injustice 2 was going to be shown at the PlayStation conference or Microsoft conference or something.
Yeah.
But it was like, hey, we'll show it off at one of the conferences, but the thing is, what's left to show because it got
Nothing.
leaked.
So they just put the trailer out and was like, there you go.
Yeah, Ed Boon wasn't happy though. Ed Boon was not happy.
No.
No.
But like, some things got leaked, but we obviously knew we were going to be there. Like Dishonored 2, as you said, was leaked to be at the Bethesda conference, but we knew it was going to be there.
Yeah, and it's just like, then they had that Dead Rising 4 promo material thing. It's just like, can we have some surprises for E3? Then there was like...
Now, if that hadn't have been leaked, that would have been a nice surprise.
Yes, yeah.
Because I wasn't expecting another Dead Rising for... Maybe at next E3 it was to be announced. Not this year.
Well, mind you, the last Dead Rising 3, I've got it right by me actually.
It was launched just after launch of the Xbox One.
Yes, it was a launch title for the Xbox One. Where is it? 2013.
Yeah. So yeah, it has been 3 years since it came out.
Yeah, I mean that's ample enough time.
Yeah.
But we'll talk more about Dead Rising and everything like that. But the leaks, the amount of leaks that happened,
they were E3 this year was just leakier than a leaky tap.
Oh, yeah, honestly, they needed a plumber and fucking, you know why there wasn't that many leaks? Because there wasn't a Mario game there. Nintendo forgot to bring their plumber to plug all the leaks.
Yeah, I was gonna say last year they announced like several new Mario games, plumbed all those leaks, and this year no new Mario game leaks everywhere.
No, and then the only thing that of Mario that got leaked was on like the side of a drink. E3 or so like an ice cream thing. It was a Mario Party game for the 3DS, but no trailer was shown at E3. Nothing, just an advertisement around. I was like, okay.
Yeah, but that's a sneaky way of doing it. If I was a developer, I'd like put a poster up somewhere in a corner where no one would think to look.
Yeah, but
and be like, ha ha ha, we've hidden something in the conference hall. Can you find it?
Yeah, but it's just like. It's like Kojima was walking around with a T-shirt on throughout the majority of E3 that said DS written on it. Nobody knew what the fuck it was.
No one knew what it was.
No one knew what the hell it was until Sony's conference. No. But yeah.
Yeah. No. Speaking of Kojima, we'll get back onto him when we got into Sony's conference because that was brilliant.
But yeah. No, E3 this year should have been really cool. Leaky free.
If the leaks hadn't have happened, or there was a considerable less leaks, I would say it would have been on par or maybe just better than last year, but
Yeah,
because of all the leaks, it sort of just dropped it.
yeah. Um, and I think we covered the the leaks in the last podcast we did, didn't we?
Yeah, we mentioned the leaks that were there at the time.
Mm. So let's get on to ranking the conferences from worst to best. I'll say that the worst one out of the lot was EA's.
Yeah.
That that whole like basketball thing was
Now,
cringy.
the
Uh,
new I'm not huge on my sport games, but I occasionally play a few, and the new FIFA trailer got me a bit with the whole new career mode, the journey mode thing,
yeah,
which I thought was a good addition because it's something different to the game, and you've got like the career mode isn't exactly brilliant in the FIFA games,
yeah.
and it was this whole new mode where you can rise up through like into become a Premier League team player, and it was brilliant. And then they later on announced more about it, where you could only play as that one person that was announced.
So you can't even create your own characters.
No,
Bit of a bummer, but I mean, I suppose if they want to tell a
but
story,
yeah. But you can in the career mode. You can still make your own character in the career mode. This is more. Think of it as like FIFA story mode.
it just I don't. I don't think the majority of the people who will go and buy FIFA will play that mode, or
People,
or will buy it for that.
no, they won't buy it for that mode. They'll buy it for the usual stuff. But it's that extra little bit there. And to be honest, it's the first year they've done it. I think this is just a test the waters thing.
I think the story will be rather poor, to be honest.
It might be poor, but the graphics do look good. That it's now in the Frostbite engine.
Yeah, well, one thing I think it was taken out of context because I read it on a website. But apparently this new story mode that they do wasn't achievable on the last engine, only with Frostbite. Now I'm like,
Yeah, I read that.
So you couldn't make some cutscenes, some offices in a conference room with the old engine. I just found that to be a load of crap, to be honest.
Or it might have been taken out of context. It might be the fact they could have done it, but not to the standard they wanted to be at.
Yeah, but it's just like I just don't see the point in it. I don't see the point in it having a story mode. I mean, like with the WWE games, there's always a storyline. There's storylines with each like superstar
Now,
and so on and so on.
The career mode isn't brilliant, but it's an awful lot better than the FIFA games.
Yeah, so
now I know we're comparing two different franchises, but on a career mode variant of what you get in the career mode. Look at like WWE, NBA. The career modes in those are better. The NBA ones are quite good.
Yeah, but it's like if you look at say you look at WWE as a whole, they have stories week in, week out. When you look at the Premier League or whatever football or soccer league that you look at, they don't have stories. They don't go, well, Manchester United is gonna whack all the friggin' I don't know, Chelsea fans over the head with a steel chair and then do a pile driver on the manager.
But to be honest, I'd rather see that.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
It'd be brilliant. But you kind of do have a story sort of thing in football. It's like you've got the two separate fans. Sometimes you've got the rivalries, like your derby. Sometimes fans clash with other fans. Not if you've heard about what's happened like early on in the Euros with like the Russia and England fans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That would be the sort of story.
Yeah.
But you also get behind the scenes story, like such a player's unhappy with what they're getting, so their contract's coming up soon, so they might go somewhere else.
I don't know. I just don't think that
it's like we're trying to compare a real life thing to a scripted process.
Yeah, it's like a more physical version opera in a way.
Yeah.
Well, not opera. God, that's like a really bad description of it. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Um,
Hopefully other people that are listening know as well.
yeah, it's an art. Wrestling's an art.
Yeah, it's an art form.
But yeah, um, EA's just the worst. But they did have some good showings there. Mass Effect Andromeda, I think, was the standout for me. I think that because I played the previous Mass Effect games.
Now, with Mass Effect Andromeda, I was happy to see it, but I would have liked to have seen a little bit more.
Yes.
Because it was all we really got to see was behind the scenes stuff. We got to see like them driving one of the vehicles.
Mako.
Yeah, you got to see them driving the vehicles and running around. A little bit of combat, but it wasn't sort of like your usual full screeny sort of thing, if you know what I mean, like a proper trailer
Yeah.
where you saw them run from A to B, kill C, run to D, pick up E, fly back over to A and drop it off. Sort of like a little mini mission demo to show us off.
Nah, I don't think they'll do that until probably Gamescom, which is in August.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Mass Effect Andromeda. I mean, I'm glad that the Mako's back. At least I think
Yeah.
that's the Mako, unless they
Or
change the name of it.
it could be renamed with it being
Yeah, because it's not linked to the original.
Andromeda.
It's not linked to the original trilogy. Well, I think it might be linked to the original trilogy, but your save files and your story itself won't
affect it.
won't affect Andromeda. So all the decisions you made in the previous three won't affect Andromeda.
What would be good in the long run, now this would be very long run, is if they do this, like sort of Mass Effect Andromeda trilogy, and then bring them together for do sort of like an ultimate trilogy to end the Mass Effect.
Yeah, I suppose because
Sort of call it sort of like Star Wars.
Yeah.
You've got the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, and then the new trilogy. Even though I think Andromeda is set sort of the same time or just after.
I'm not too sure, because with the amount of news that they've given, which is not much, I've kind of not looked at it. Until they do like a big info burst, I won't like really dive into a lot of Mass Effect news, to be honest.
Yeah. But there you go. You can think of it like it'd be good as if they did it set before Mass Effect, sort of like telling you how the Reapers came about.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shameless plug here. Shameless plug. I will be talking about Mass Effect 3 news-wise when there is more news to be talked about it. And when it comes out, I'll probably do a Let's Play and a review of it. Just want to plug. Just want to do a shameless plug.
Yeah. Well, like, if they set the Andromeda trilogy beforehand and say, like, the Andromeda system is where the Reapers originally came from and show us they're bringing about, it would mirror the sort of Star Warsy story where you had the original trilogy where you saw the rise of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
The prequel trilogy which saw you the obviously how Darth Vader came about basically, and then the new trilogy setting a new story up basically.
Yeah, right.
Whereas the original Mass Effect trilogy is what the Reapers did, Andromeda trilogy how they came about, and then the Ultimate trilogy just bring the two together really, because that's what they could do.
Yeah, but that wasn't the only thing that they showed at EA's. They showed another indie game called FE. Was it FE?
Yeah, I think it was that. It was quite strange.
It's just like they did Unravel last year, and then they've done that, and it was just like, well, it just seems that EA is showing a bit more appreciation towards the indies, considering they're a massive studio. But will that make EA look more human? Well, I don't know. After the years of all that, all that money grabbing and all those like season passes and online passes, and it's just. I think EA's got to do a lot to earn people's respect back.
Yeah.
And I think Mass Effect Andromeda is part of the way there, as long as they don't give it a crap ending like Mass Effect 3.
Maybe stick to 2 endings. One for your good ending, one for your bad ending.
Yeah.
Don't do like 9 endings where you've got like good ending, chaotic good ending, neutral good ending, neutral bad ending, and all that sort of paradigm endings.
Yeah, yeah. There was. I'm glad that. I'm glad at one thing though that somebody didn't come on stage and talk for about a fucking hour. I mean, I know that
Yeah.
because last year it was Pele that came on, wasn't it? Last year Pele came on,
Yeah, for Pele, yeah.
and like
No
I
matter how
don't
awesome that was, because like he is like an icon of
of
the
football, yeah,
sporting world. Not just football, but like sporting world on a whole.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just that leave that for like a video online, not as a conference. It just
Yeah.
that bit last year just it just looked like a conversation on stage, and
See, if it was anybody less prestigious than Pele that I didn't really like, I'd have turned it off.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But because it was someone as prestigious as Pele, and like everyone's gotta love Pele,
yeah.
I kept it on.
I don't think there's really much else that EA really did. To be honest.
No.
Oh, Battlefield 1 as well. You can't
Yeah, but
forget Battlefield 1.
everybody knows about
Yeah, I
Battlefield
think
1.
I think there's that much coverage about Battlefield 1, but if we start talking about it in more detail, people are going to get a little bit annoyed. I think it looked good though. Yo, you're cutting out.
Am I?
Yes.
Well, I've got full connection here, so.
Ah, right. Yeah, we're experiencing technical difficulties with our net. Hey.
Hey, technical difficulties on a podcast.
Yep. About right. But yeah, Battlefield 1. I don't know. I don't
All I
know.
can say is, I'm not going to say much about Battlefield 1 because everybody knows about Battlefield 1, but all I can say is, Battlefield 1 outshone Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That much is a given, but
Titanfall 2 went and buried it.
Titanfall 2, that was another EA game, wasn't it? Yeah, Titanfall 2 actually looked very
I
good.
played the first one.
I didn't like the first
It was
one.
alright. It was alright for like a multiplayer online only shooter game. It had its differences, which sort of compensated for the lack of single player stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I did enjoy what they showed for Titanfall 2. I did
Yeah, but
enjoy it.
swords, mechas with swords.
I didn't know I was playing. I didn't know that when I get it, I'll be playing as Gundam. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Talking of Gundam, I've actually got I've got one of the old Gundam games.
I've just remembered something. Mechas with swords, and you got Zone of the Enders, and we still didn't get a third one.
Oh, oh, sadness.
And cry, 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 play my violin.
Cry, 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 play your violin all the way to wherever.
Eat ice cream, cry into a bowl of ice cream. And when I see bowl, I
That
mean the whole tub.
that's like the saddest pit of depression now. Ice cream
Yep.
cry. Yeah, but I don't think there's much else we can talk about EA.
No.
Other than Titanfall and other than Mirror's Edge released to little
Yeah.
no fanfare. Which is a shame because they've been hyping it up for so long. They release
Yeah.
it, then nothing. It's like EA forgot about it.
I was say I almost forgot about it.
It's a shame because apparently it looks. I mean, it looks pretty good graphically, but I mean, apparently it's pretty good. But it's just. I think EA's got caught up in the whole like Battlefield 1 tirade is like, it's so popular that EA is just like, we don't need any other game.
Yeah.
But yeah, EA's wasn't the best. Again, I think EA had the worst conference. But however, you might disagree with me here,
Go on.
but I say next conference which was bad, well in fourth place, was the Bethesda conference.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, I can pretty much, I say 90% agree with you on that one, because there wasn't really much in a sense.
I like at the beginning they showed off that new Quake game, Quake Champions,
Yeah.
which is PC only at the moment, which I
Yeah.
expected because it is originally a PC game anyway.
Hmm.
They said it could head to consoles, but that they're only like plans in motion. They aren't actually, like they're only plans. There's nothing like set in stone yet
Yeah.
for the consoles. But PC version is happening. More info at QuakeCon, because it's QuakeCon and Quake Champions. So. But one thing I didn't like about Bethesda's conferences, it was on here in the UK at 3 o'clock in the
In the
goddamn
morning.
morning, and it didn't start until 3:15 in the morning because I don't know if they're experiencing technical difficulties
They were just running late.
or they were just running late. But just that, it's just the people who are hosting like the conference. I was like, could you please go off and I have to watch the conference? I mean, like, I don't mind you guys, but please just can we watch the conference? She was like, nope, we ain't going off. But considering all the hype, and we had that leaked list as well,
Yeah.
and I think Bethesda may have just pulled some of them back so they can announce them at, like, say, Gamescom or whatever.
Well, I'm just glad they kept like the main things there, like Dishonored 2.
Yeah, we'll talk about this.
I couldn't have gone any longer without waiting to see proper gameplay of it. Like we've seen bits of gameplay before, but like this is like a commentary played through part where he's saying, "Oh, you can do this, you can do that, this new ability, that new ability, go here and go there."
Yeah, because it was. I like the look of it, because I mean, I think one thing that when I played Dishonored, and one thing I always liked about Dishonored when I played it, was that gorgeous art style. That art style it
Yeah,
has is just gorgeous. But overall the gameplay just looks. It looks more advanced than the first one, and the stealth looks a bit
yeah.
more stealthy than the first one. Because the first one, even though it was a stealth game,
You could still run through it, like kill everything.
yeah, and it was
And
like.
they've said you can still do that.
You see, I would have preferred if it was just a full-on stealth game. And I mean, yeah, you've got these powers that you have, but it's supposed to be a stealth game, so
Now, I'm going to disagree a little. I'm going to say maybe turn the stealth up a little bit and make it a bit harder for you to
no, I
just
want
go
that.
in and kill everything.
No, I want that. I want it to be
Yeah,
a better stealth game.
yeah, but not completely so it's like stealth or nothing.
No. But that's the thing, though. It's like the game is designed for stealth, and
Well, I
if you
suppose.
if you
Well, I
get
suppose,
caught
though.
in the action, like I think it was what was that game, Styx Master of Shadows.
Yeah,
If you get caught in the open, it's like was it 2 hits and you're dead.
yeah.
You know, if you don't
But
stealth, you are paid a very great price. So
I suppose that's what difficulty's there for. You could, if you play on easy slash normal, you can sort of run. Oh, I got spotted. Lure him out, kill him. Whereas on hard mode, you get seen and they track you relentlessly, and just give you pursuit basically.
it just seemed that like whilst it did look impressive, it just seemed like it was a more improved version of the first one.
Yeah.
But I will give it a go, but not when it comes out because I am poor, and it comes out on the 11th.
Yeah, well, I'm getting it, and just after that is another game I want as well. But we'll talk about that later on because it wasn't actually a conference. It well, kind of, if you count the Nintendo sort of directy treehousey thing, a
Mm.
conference.
Right. Yeah. But the Bethesda one, they did all that Fallout 4 DLC. They said it was the last one. Now, the last set of DLC. Now, I was pretty sure when they said we're gonna up the price of the season pass, and we're gonna give you 3 sets of DLC. So you're gonna have like the first set, the second set, and then the third and final set, and each one will have 3 sets, like 3 pieces of DLC.
Yeah.
Where did the other 3 go?
Yeah.
I'm almost sure.
Yeah.
I'm almost sure that's why they upped the price. Instead of doing the 4 or the 6, 4 or the 6 they originally going to do, they did 3 more. That'd make 9. That would then associate the price of what it's actually worth, the full 40 quid season pass.
Yeah.
I luckily
'Cause-
got it when it was 25 quid.
Yeah. No, it's like with Fallout, like if
Oh, oh, he's gone again. He's gone dark again. Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Technical difficulties.
Xbox One, it's pretty much
You're
going
cutting
to make
out.
those sorts of. Yes, I know. I've got an internet warning on here.
Ah, right. Okay.
But yeah. Now that they've brought mods out on consoles, well, the Xbox One for now, they're still having difficulties with PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's going to make DLCs like Wasteland Workshop redundant.
Yeah.
So why don't they just scrap those DLCs and give us 2 medium-sized story expansions?
I think, to be honest though, I think the Vault one I would happily have. The Vault make your own
Yeah.
Vault one. That's
Now
pretty cool.
that's coming out. Was it August? That one's out.
No, July.
July. I've already seen a mod for it.
Ah.
Well, obviously it won't be as refined as the Bethesda one,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's got features like you can assign settlers to them. But, well, yeah. Anyway, but that's what modding's for. Modding to work that out. It's not going to be as refined as the Bethesda stuff because they've been planning this in advance.
Yeah.
This might have been just a modder that woke up and thought, oh, what would it be like to build my own vault? Mod it into Fallout 4. Mod
Yeah.
all the stuff in that I need.
Yeah, it seemed a bit. It just seemed a bit.
And it seemed very close to when sort of that mod got very big. Because that Make Your Own Vault mod got really big, and then Bethesda went out and announced Make Your Own Vault DLC.
I don't know. And then they did that Nuka World one as well. But it's because I announced that Nuka World DLC, and it's just like that's the last story mode one. I'm like, and that's gonna be the last DLC as well. I'm like, but you promised us more. I'm almost sure they promised us more DLC.
Now, if you look back at like Fallout 3, that had 3 DLCs, but there were 4 story-driven ones.
Yeah. I mean, because they didn't have the actual like build your settlements thing. So
Yeah,
in essence,
fair.
I feel like as a whole, if you paid the 40 quid for the season pass, and if Nuka World is the last DLC, I feel like if you paid the 40 quid for the DLC pass, you've been kind of ripped off.
Yeah.
Because, like, I did Far Harbor in about 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I did The Mechanist in about an hour. The other one I didn't bother with because it's just settlement building.
Yeah, but the Mechanist one wasn't really mainly a story business because that was building your robots sort of thing,
It's
wasn't it?
building your own robot, but it put a story into it as well, which was
Yeah,
alright.
but it wasn't the main focus of it. Wasn't the actual story.
Yeah. No, it just seemed like it seems like a kick in the teeth to everybody who bought the 40 quid season pass.
Yeah, see,
I
I did.
don't feel too bad that I got it because I got it 25 quid, but
See, I wanted to get the season pass, but I had no money when it was cheap.
Yeah.
And now that they've announced all this DLC, I don't want to get it anymore because
yeah,
I'm getting two big DLCs, 4 small ones that pretty much just add aesthetic.
yeah. All you wanted, the robot one, the Mechanist one, is pretty good. The robot you can make, because I've called my robot Keith.
Yeah.
But the robots you can make are pretty cool. You can have them near enough any design you want, and it's really cool. It's really cool having a robot companion rather than like rather than having a human being going around like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
falling down, go give them a stim pack, you know.
But
And
again,
you can outfit them if you've got the necessary parts. You can outfit them in some of the most overpowered weaponry ever. So
and
then
broken.
they just go into a room, clear everything. So you pretty much just it's full up walking simulator. That because the robot just does everything for you. But
Yeah. Again, as I was saying, there's mods for something similar to that where you can pretty much make anything a companion. Like you can make a Deathclaw your companion
yeah,
in a mod. So if someone can mod that, surely someone could have modded something very similar to building your robots.
yeah.
So again, it's one of those aesthetic DLCs that not necessarily were needed in a way. It sort of built up on a previous idea.
I think I don't think the season pass was worth it. But enough of Fallout.
Yep.
They also did that VR thing,
Yep.
which I think they spent too long on.
Yeah, they spent way too long on it.
But with that leaked list, I think everybody's like, "Oh, good, we're gonna get some good games." They showed off Skyrim Remastered, which I think everybody's expecting, but the timing of it is weird. Like, it's for the PC. You can get it for the PC, but PC don't really need it because they can mod it to high heaven and make it look better than that edition
But
anyway.
but on that note, though, they've said that PC owners will, if you own Skyrim and all of its DLC, you can get the updated edition for free because of people being able to mod it to make it look like that. It mainly, if you get the new Skyrim, and previous mods will work for it, you could probably run more mods because you won't really need as many of the aesthetic mods like making sceneries look better, making the sky look pretty.
Yeah. Well,
And that's why PC players are getting it for free because you could just mod it.
it just seems like a kick in the teeth. The whole thing, like, I mean, like Skyrim, yeah, it's good. It's a good game, and yeah, it's Elder Scrolls, but it's not the Elder Scrolls that we want remastering or remaking. And
No.
not only that, it's just like I thought we've passed that point of remasters. I mean, like, yeah,
Yeah.
if the game was like say out at the beginning of like say the 7th generation's life cycle, like Gears of War 1, right? Fair enough. That game did look a bit dated when when they announced it was getting remastered.
Yeah.
And looking at it on the Xbox One comparing to the 360, it's just like yeah, it looked the remaster. Yeah, it was worth remastering it. It's worth remastering.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. And some of them, like a lot of niche games that are on the PS3 and the 360, are getting remastered. because open them up to a wider audience now because these consoles are more
Yeah.
popular. I think remastering niche titles is good, but for like games like Skyrim, which are hugely popular, I think what's the point in remastering them? I mean, I know that's I've heard the case of like, oh, it's tying you over to Elder Scrolls 6, but it says yeah, but
We aren't going to be getting Elder Scrolls 6 for a good while.
yeah, and it just I don't know.
I just think Skyrim Remastered was there just to appease people who wanted a new Elder Scroll,
Yeah,
but they don't want to make it yet, so they're like, yeah, have a remastered Skyrim on for you console players, and then use that on PC can just mod the hell out of it.
see, I don't know that many people actually play Skyrim, and it's coming out in October as well, which is like the
I'm
worst month for it to come out in.
Yeah, I'm not going to get it straight away. I am going to get it because it's one of those games I have wanted to play through again because I haven't played it for a while.
Well,
But I'm not going to be getting it straight away. Maybe sort of let's say around January time, do like when the Christmas sales are
yeah.
off. I might just pop into game and go, oh,
Well, Black Friday's
let's see.
around about then, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm saving up for Dishonored and Pokemon mainly at the minute.
But see, another problem with this is like October and November are like already clumped together with so many games,
Yeah.
and the week I think it's the week before that comes out, Dragon Quest Builders comes out, so it's got no
Yep.
chance. And
But then like I might just wait till January, pop into game, like, oh, it was my birthday the other day. Let's see what I can get in the Christmas sales. Oh, Skyrim remastered. Oh, that's pretty decent. I'll grab that. That's sort of the situation I'm going to be in with it.
will I play? Will I get it? I think I might. I don't know. It's just like I don't want to get another remaster. Like, I mean, with the Metro games, 2030, Metro 2033 did need remastering because
Yeah,
I mean it looked a bit dated that one, but Last Light didn't. But putting them two together and then adding all the DLCs together and even adding a little bit more
yeah,
into it as a whole, I think I say out of all the remasters, Metro is the best one, but I will have to say I'm a bit biased towards the Metro series in general.
yeah. That would have been like Naughty Dog going, oh, do you know what? Yeah, since we're doing Uncharted 4, you can have Uncharted 1 for 40 quid, then Uncharted 2 for 40 quid, and Uncharted 3 for 40 quid. And releasing them over a staggered period.
Yeah, like another thing was like they did Final Fantasy Type Zero, didn't they? Going off topic here, but as we usually do. But
Yeah,
Final Fantasy Type Zero came out, and now like it's Type Zero HD because it was originally a PSP title.
yeah. But we never got it over here.
No, we never got that game.
So technically, even for us, we shouldn't even recount it as a remaster, really.
Nope.
Well, obviously we should because it's a remaster of a previous title. But we never got it in the first place.
No, we never got Type Zero, and yeah, it's just yeah, enough of Skyrim anyway. But we'll talk now about other games like Wolfenstein, the next Wolfenstein. Where was that?
Yeah.
And one game that I personally was, cause, I mean, you can love it, you can love or hate the game. I loved it, and that's Evil Within. I
Yeah.
was after that leak of what's going to be shown, and then that they did the artwork for the Bethesda conference, and it showed the Keeper, the
Yeah.
box head man from Evil
Yeah.
Within. I was like, could it be shown? Could it be shown? I was like, I was really getting a bit hyped for it, and I was let down when they didn't show that. And the only thing new that they actually revealed, if you discount the VR, was Quake Champions, and that was right at the beginning.
Yeah. But you never know. They could have pulled it off to announce it, say like Gamescom,
Yeah, because of all the
like
leaks.
you were saying
they
before,
wanted,
because of all the leaks.
yeah. I mean, I think that's probably why. I hope that's why. So,
Yeah.
I don't think Wolfenstein will get announced at Gamescom for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
You know, Gamescom is based in Germany. Wolfenstein is centered around Nazis, and I know that that's still a touchy subject over there because I think
Yeah.
wasn't like the latest Wolfenstein like banned or censored over there or
I
something.
think it was very heavily censored.
You know, I mean, like, so it's still a
Still a touchy subject.
still a touchy subject to discuss. So I don't think that'll be there, but I hope Evil Within will be there. If not, Evil Within will definitely be at TGS. It
Yeah.
should be anyway.
Well, what they could do is do. If I was them, and let's say that if these games are definitely in development, because you never know, this could just be very hopeful people wishing those games were there.
Hmm.
But do Evil Within at Gamescom, and then do Wolfenstein at TGS, because Wolfenstein was very popular in Japan.
Was it?
I think it was.
I know Evil Within was, but
I think Wolfenstein was as well. It wasn't as popular, but it did still sell a lot.
Well, I think that'll. I didn't know that.
I think it was. Don't hold me 100% on it.
I will hold you 110% on it.
Oh wow.
Yes, you are fucked now.
Yay.
Yeah, but other than that, I was a bit disappointed in that. In some regards, I'd say that was worse than the EA conference, just because of all the things that got leaked and all the things that a lot of people were expecting as well. Not just because of the leak, but a lot of people were expecting because it was high time for them to announce another game,
Yeah.
and they didn't, and it just seemed like, well,
They pretty much showed off what games they've already announced and then content for already released games.
yeah. I don't think it was worth a conference. I think they could have just done like a stream online, say, later on the following day.
Yeah.
It wasn't worth staying up 3 o'clock, I can tell you that one. But yeah, the next conference, before we go over and do some serious time on this bit of thing, yeah, was the Ubisoft conference.
Yeah.
I'd say that was third place, and the reason why I'd say that's third place was because it went on for way too long.
Too long.
That was, out of all the conferences, that was the longest one, and that I know you got a lot to offer Ubisoft, but like, come on.
I was expecting it to be like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours tops.
Yeah.
And after 2 hours, I was just losing concentration, and I was forcing myself to watch it, just in case I got distracted and missed like a really big announcement.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, it just didn't seem like just didn't, I mean, they showed off a lot of good stuff. Like,
You what?
the Ubisoft conference, they showed off a lot of good stuff. They showed off For Honor, which looks
Yeah.
looked
Brilliant.
pretty good, that did. Ghost Recon Wildlands looked good, but nobody plays that way in real life.
It looked alright.
I'd just like to point that out to everybody, all the developers and that, when they do multiplayer demos like that. I'd like to point out that nobody online plays that like that. They don't go, cover him there, go there, get him, I got the intel, I've got this, I've got that. No, it's more like, get over there, you stupid twat, I'm gonna stop me fucking, you got killed, now I've got to go out, you're down, now I've got to go revive you, you useless sack of crap, now I've got to go all the way over there, kill somebody, No, there's a lot of rage. It's just like, you could have gone for the fucking kill, but no. Instead of deciding to be a sniper, you decide to be a medic. Yeah, it's just, I mean that's putting it lightly for online, but I mean, usually it's a load of abuse and insults. But
It's like, I'll play games online, and I'll play on the multiplayer, It's like I say I play things like Destiny, as we established in the last podcast, and I'll be sitting playing the monthly Crucible event, the Iron Banner, and sometimes I'll play with people in a fire team and go in and get match made with the rest of fill the team up. Sometimes I'll just go in on my own and just get set up with 5 random people on a team, and they won't be able to hear me because obviously I'll have a headset in and stuff. But I'm still screaming at the TV, going, "You could have gone for B. You all went for A. 3 of you or 2 of you could have gone for B."
Yep. I mean, that's the that's online gaming in a nutshell. And it's just nobody plays like that. Then they showed off. Then what else did they show off? They showed off Trials of the Blood Dragon, which
No, that looked pretty cool.
it just I was like, yes, it's another Blood Dragon, it's another Trials, yay! But I was like, I don't want that. I want an actual Blood Dragon game. Because they said they were going to make an actual Blood Dragon game after the standing success of Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. I'm like, well, give us an actual standalone Blood Dragon title. Come on.
See, I still don't understand why that one was published as Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. Does it have links to Far Cry 3?
No. Well, gunplay. The gameplay, yeah.
Yay. So, no links at all.
No. Oh, he did rip. Well, when you play Blood Dragon, he does rip into a few of the Ubisoft titles.
It's fair enough.
It's kind of like fourth wall breaking, and I liked it.
But what was good about the Ubisoft? No Assassin's Creed game.
Yes, I know. Oh.
They showed the movie. They talked about the movie.
I said that they'd show the movie, and the reason why I said they showed the movie is because there's no game to show, so they'd show the movie instead.
Yeah, but at least they didn't go, "Here's the Assassin's Creed movie. Stay behind at the end of the Assassin's Creed movie for a sneak peek at something else." And then like you sit in the cinema and like Marvel do the credit scenes. You're sitting there and the credits for Assassin's Creed, and then you got the trailer.
Actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea if they go, because usually when they announce an Assassin's Creed, it's usually like right at the end of the year, just after the other one.
Or what they could do,
or at the beginning of the other one. And I think what they'll do is, because there's no Creed film, there's no Creed game this year, they'll do a post credit. They'll do a post credits, because there's no Creed game this year. They'll do a post credits trailer.
Maybe not. Maybe just like a 10-second clip where you hear the main character talk. And it sort of gives you an idea where it's at. Like, let's say, for example, it's feudal Japan. You just sort of see the main character in the whole sort of samurai geary sort of thing.
No.
Sort of looking into the distance into feudal sort of tents, and then it fades to black, and then it comes up saying like Assassin's Creed Rising Sun, or whatever they're going to call it.
Don't. I think a lot of people have been wanting that just because the setting for that would fit perfectly.
And that's sort of why that's why I said feudal Japan, because that's the one that everyone wanted. I wanted feudal Japan, even though the last one set in Victorian times was okay. It was a nice idea, different than sort of far gone in the past, because the Victorian era, it was years ago. But
oh, well, of course it was years ago.
Oh no, I remember.
You see, you make it sound like, oh, it was like 10 years ago. Queen Victoria ruled the country. We weren't at war. We didn't have a recession. You know, we had an empire.
But yeah, it was a bit different. It seemed a lot more modern, and that's what I liked. It was sort of making the Assassin's Creed a bit more modern. But I would love to see feudal Japan.
Yeah. Nonetheless, though, as I'm looking at my Final Fantasy Type 0 case for some reason, they also showed off, and I think this was their best game, to be honest, South Park Stick of Truth.
No, the new one or the
Not stick of truth, fractured butthole. God, but
The
did you see?
fractured butthole. I was say
Yeah,
the fractured
stick
butthole. I
of
was waiting
truth.
for you to say it, because I was going to giggle at it, going, "That sounds rude."
Oh, you're such a child.
Because they've done it that way, so it sounds rude, but it's not.
Yeah, but like so far,
It's
the fractured
it's
butthole.
pretty it's pretty much South Park Civil War.
Yeah, I found it funny that it's just how it all. I was just like just everything, and they made those jokes. I was like,
Oh yeah, those
you're you,
jokes.
you're being
Not
you're
go,
you're being
not
quiet.
mention them. I was gonna say not mentioning them on stream for obvious reasons. But if you saw the jokes, how did they get away with it? I know it's South Park, and South Park gets away with a lot, but to put them into a trailer that's going to be at E3.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just yeah. It's just, I loved it. I think I will get it, and I think that'll probably be either a Christmas game for me. But that'll be
Yeah, I'd say that might be.
it'll be a toss up between that and Dead Rising 4 for a Christmas game, because
Yeah.
at the beginning of December I'll have Kingdom Hearts 2.8. So yeah, but enough of that one, because
And
we could talk about
yeah.
stuff
Now I want to mention a game.
when he doesn't cut out. That is because our internet hates each other. Are you there? Or has your internet died again? I think his internet's died again.
Yeah, no, I've just seen that on screen. Which one was it that did the game Steep?
Ubisoft.
It was Ubisoft. Yeah. Now that I'm not a massive sporty person, as you know. I'm more of a fat, lazy shit that likes to sit on my arse.
Yeah. No comment.
The only time I'll get up is if I need to go to the toilet or have something to eat.
No comment.
I won't even get up to pick up the TV remote if the TV remote's across the other side of the room.
No comment.
But that game really caught my eye. Like, it was different than your usual sporting games, because usually you get football, basketball, NFL, hockey if you're really into it.
Yeah, I mean,
And
like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that.
it's sort of a combination between, like, what is it, like, wingsuit base jumping, paragliding, snowboarding, and skiing. Now, if you know me, I love the SSX games.
Well, no, but the thing is, though, it just seemed like, oh yeah, we're going to do extreme sports with the crew.
Yeah.
And am I? No. Just no. Honestly, I know that was their big game, but that was the one that least impressed me. I honestly,
Yeah.
it didn't impress me at all, that one didn't. And I mean, it's because they aren't my kind of games, but
Yeah.
it
Well,
just,
again, they aren't usually my sort of games, but it's just something, you know, that was out of the ordinary that catches your eye.
yeah. But yeah, away from the
It
Ubisoft
was
conference.
it was sort of like, before we carry on, it was sort of like the sort of the patchy coloured cat amongst the collection of whole coloured kittens.
Hmm.
Because like if you go into a place that's got like a load of kittens, it goes, oh, that one's ginger, that one's black, that one's white. Oh, that one's got black, white, and ginger spots. I like that one.
What's that logic?
Yeah, it's something that stands out and catches your eye.
Well, in other like news for that, then we'll talk about the next conference, which I don't know which one's second and first here, to be honest.
Well, why don't you get a coin, right? And we'll heads and tails which one we'll talk about next, because I know which two you're on about, and I can't decide either.
I'd say I'll just put it this way: hardware, which is like all your consoles and all that, Microsoft.
Yeah.
Software, Sony.
Yeah.
I can't decide which goes second, which goes first, but so we'll talk about Microsoft now.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed Microsoft's conference.
Yeah, it was really good this year.
No, man, it wasn't too bad last year. It was better than the Xbox One reveal conference,
Yeah.
which was bad. But nonetheless, it was a pretty good conference. It was a pretty good, and yeah, everything was not a surprise except that they showed Final Fantasy 15 off, which
Yeah,
surprised me.
that one, it caught me out of the blue, really.
Which surprised me really, because I
Because-
knew beforehand that Final Fantasy 15 runs worse on that than it does on the Xbox One than it does on the PS4. So I was like, why should it on the console that it runs worse on? Like, what?
Well, obviously we knew Final Fantasy 15 was going to be shown in some way, shape, or form with it coming out in September. I was half expecting it to be at Sony, with Final Fantasy typically previously being very Sony orientated.
And then another surprise was Tekken 7.
Yeah, which again I thought was going to be on at the Sony conference.
Now, it's like it was already announced for PS4 way back on the Paris Games Week last year. So we already knew it was PS4, but no, they didn't say, oh, it was coming off Xbox One or PC. They just said it was PS4. And PS4 is its primary thing. I've read PS4 is its primary console above the Xbox One, but they showed it on the Xbox One thing because the PlayStation One was already chock a block with games, and it was the way they did their show differently. The way they did their show was different to all the others, and we'll talk more about it because it was just games, very little talking. It was just games. But what they showed of Tekken 7, yeah, you could say that I want that now. I already wanted it anyway, but I will kill people for that game. I want it.
Yeah.
And I like it a lot. I want to play it a lot, and give me that game a lot. Yeah, just reading up about that game just blew me. It just like blew me away. I was like, they're doing a story mode which is gonna be very interesting to play. Also at the Microsoft conference, though, they showed off Gears of War 4 in some grand fashion.
Yeah.
And we saw some gameplay. We saw some, we saw some we saw a trailer for it as well. But the best thing I have to say, we saw Papa Marcus.
Yes.
We saw Daddy. We saw Marcus.
Which I wasn't expecting, really. I was expecting to.
And he looked
I was expecting
old.
to sort of play the game. You get about halfway through. Someone says, "Oh, let's go find your dad," and he turns around and goes, "He's dead."
Yeah. One thing I did find, I find it weird, but I was like, maybe that's a sort of story plot point, because JD Phoenix is the son of Marcus and Anya.
Yep.
Where was Anya?
Well, maybe she's there, maybe she's dead.
That's what I want to know. Is she alive? Is she dead?
But the only problem is, though, if you kill her off, you've got another Dom story.
True, but you've got a guy who's built up 10 times the size of Dom, and a guy that's also a lot more angrier than Dom, called Marcus Phoenix.
I know that, but it's the fact is that it's a character, his wife's dead.
I would just like to point out, though, that it doesn't matter how old he gets. The when Marcus Phoenix does die, well, stops breathing, his flesh will fall off his body, and there won't be a skeleton there. It'll be just Bender, the robot.
Yes, yes, it will.
It'll be Bender the
It will.
robot,
It
and
will
then
be
it'll
Bender.
be because it's the same guy that voices Bender that voices Marcus. So it just, I found that really weird. It was like Bender
Corner.
voices Marcus. Like, what?
I've just thought of a title, and it sounds really wrong, and I'm not going to say it. When it happens, the next one could be called Gears of Benders.
Oh boy.
But no.
Yeah.
You couldn't put him in the title, because no matter how you put him into the title, it's always going to sound wrong.
Oh god. I enjoyed what they showed of Gears 4, and it makes me want to get it a lot. But I mean, I like the series anyway. But if I didn't have an Xbox One, I would go out and get one for that.
Yeah, I'm going to get one eventually. I might. That might be my January thing to treat myself to.
I mean, I originally got my Xbox One for 2 games, and that was Sunset Overdrive and Dead Rising 3. Now, Sunset Overdrive was alright. It could have been a lot better, but it was a good game. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But Dead Rising 3, I had a lot of fun with it. It was it's fun. And now we'll talk about Dead Rising 4. Without being loud and vulgar, I don't think I can do this, but Frank fucking West is back. Yes.
Yay!
And he's covered Warzone. I was like, I was hoping that the leaked promo material that they had was true. I was so hoping it was true, and it turned out to be true. I was like, yes. My head was like, yes. My wallet was crying, because then that means there's another game that I've got to get. Because damn you game developers. But yeah, you see the gameplay for it. They did
Yes.
the gameplay throughout E3. Oh, it looks nuts. It looks crazy. It's just and you got this power armor thing now, where in the second one you could customize your weapons. You could do that in the third one, but in the third one you could customize weapons and vehicles. Now in this one, it looks like you can customize those. I don't know about vehicles. I mean, it looks like you can customize vehicles, because I mean they showed off quite a few modified vehicles. But you can customize vehicles, weapons, and then by the looks of it, you can customize body armor.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to know if there's a story in it. How bloody serious is it gonna be? And 2, will I be able to pull myself away from it that I won't get distracted from my uni studies?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. It just seemed very good. I was like, but it is set. I think they said, was it 16 years after the first game, or Dead Rising 3?
I think so. Yeah.
It was the first one, or Dead Rising 3. They said it was set 16 years after one of them, and it's set in the same place as the first game, which is Willamette, Colorado. Now,
It'd be good if you could go back to the shopping mall from the first one.
yeah, I'm hoping that shopping mall's there. Cause I'm pretty sure that the promo material showed them shopping mall.
Because with the size of the third one, which was pretty big, they could pretty much have the shopping mall as its own independent area that you sort of go to as sort of like a transition area. You go into the shopping mall, and then you got the whole shopping mall area from the first one.
Yeah. Now, because when the Dead Rising 3 came out, they said that they harnessed the power of the Xbox One, but now the Xbox One's been out a while, they can harness the full power of it now.
Yeah.
So they can make it a lot bigger. Yeah, but I am looking forward to that. I really am. Another one I am looking forward to. Well, I'm looking forward to it because it's a driving game and I like my driving games. But a lot of my friends who are driving fanatics are quite looking forward to this, and it's Forza Horizon 3.
Yeah, that one did look pretty good.
Set in Australia? Like,
Yeah,
what? Well, I mean, very interesting choice and a very good choice, I must say. But like, I don't know of a game that's set in Australia that's modern day. I mean, I know the
yeah,
story ain't gonna play much thing, but I mean, the locale of it would be pretty good
yeah.
to see. I mean,
Australian Outback Simulator 2017.
but the only things we get to see of Australia is those border patrol programs here in the UK.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I love watching the Border Patrol programs.
yeah,
They're so good.
it's either them, Home and Away, or Neighbours, and
Yeah, I think I'll go with the Border Patrol ones.
Neighbours isn't too
But
bad.
I love all that sort of like police camera action. And sometimes you get like police camera action Australia and
Yeah, I don't know what else. Oh, yeah, the Xbox One S and Scorpio. Right. I don't want to touch on too much to this because everybody else has.
yeah,
But the Xbox One S looks very nice, looks very sleek. And Jeff Keighley
it
got one for
does.
free. Damn him.
Yeah,
Um,
but after yeah, but just to touch on that note, it is Jeff Keighley after all.
but you got a free. Oh, it doesn't irk
Yeah,
me, that does.
but it is Jeff Keighley.
Uh, but yeah, it did look pretty good. The Xbox One S. I mean, it's just a slim down version of the Xbox One, which I would say was needed. Um, but then they said the Xbox One Scorpio. No, they didn't give a price, which they gave a price to the Xbox One S, but not a price to the Scorpio because the Scorpio is coming out next year.
Hmm.
Now, when they announced all the specs, now I think I'm right in saying it had 6 teraflops. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa. They had all
See,
this other stuff as well. I'm like, that's quite powerful. I'm not gonna lie, that's quite a freaking powerful
see,
device right there.
I've been wanting to get an Xbox One, and I was going to get one, like either just a standard or the Xbox One S. But with them announcing Scorpio, I might as well just wait. I
Thing is,
know I'm
with,
going to miss out
thing is with the Scorpio, you will need a 4K TV.
and wait well before I'll get to.
You'll need a 4K TV for.
I might as well wait.
Yeah, but have you got a 4K TV?
Yeah, I can get one.
You can get one. I was going to
But
say
see,
because the Scorpio won't work. Well, I've heard it won't work without the 4K TV because you won't
yeah,
because it's designed for 4K. So you won't be
yeah.
reaping the full benefits of the
See,
console.
and with that case though, but with I'd be able to get one, but I'd have no money forever.
Yeah, and I can see
So
them being very expensive. I can see the Scorpio being very expensive. And then you did that confirmation that they were working on VR. Which I thought, well, they're working on VR or working with someone with VR, which I would assume is Oculus. But yeah, just didn't see that Microsoft's now going, yeah, we won't do VR now as well. It's interesting to see all this VR tech has boomed. One
yeah,
thing I will say though, there was no mention of that AR. There's no mention of that augmented reality, that HoloLens, which I think because there was
no,
that much shown at their conference, but I think they didn't want to like get it overshadowed. So they'll probably show that at Gamescom, which
or
they
even
showed it
or
at
even just
Gamescom last year.
convolute. It's like if they showed anything else, they would have convoluted the show, and it'd have been like it just turned into Bethesda, really.
Yeah. Now let's talk on to one of the most surprising ones, because nothing of this would actually got freaking leaked. Well, God of War did to an extent, but nobody knew what it was going to look like and what it was going to
We'd
play
seen the
like.
character model for Kratos,
Yeah, but
but we weren't told it was Kratos.
no, nobody knew what it was going to actually look like and play like. But talk more about God of War, because I need to nip to the loo. So I'm going to leave you to talk about one of the PlayStation exclusives.
And
That's The Last Guardian.
The Last Guardian. Oh my god.
So go crazy. If the internet connection buggers up, I'll have to just mention it in the edit. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So just tell when I come back. Just tell me.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is going to be difficult for me now.
Podcast planning right here. Right.
Yep.
So 3, 2, 1. Talk about it.
Well, with The Last Guardian, we finally get to see a bit more of it. We get to see we got to see a new trailer, a bit of gameplay like we did last year. Just the fact it still exists. It got like re-announced last year, and then we got to see it again this year. It's not dead again. It's still here. It's honestly one of the most exciting games I've got coming up. Because I've been waiting. This is it's been in development hell for so long. I've actually forgotten how long it's been in development for. It still pretty much kind of looks like what it was back when it was first announced. So obviously made to look better with it being on the PS4 and not the PS3. But it still sort of looks like the Last Guardian that we knew and loved back then. And honestly, I can't wait for it. Now, after the conference as well, a collector's edition, which comes with a statue and an artwork book and your general collectibles that you usually get in a collector's edition. Yeah, it's definitely coming out this year. I need to actually double check on the release date. Sometime in the coming month. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah,
Hello.
my internet died.
Yeah, he's back. He's back. I'll edit that. Don't worry. His internet just completely died, by the way. Yeah.
It's good because I'm starting to struggle talking about things.
Yeah. So you talked about The Last Guardian, and just because I might
just about how excited I was for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it might have cut out during that. I don't know.
Yeah, it cut out part way through. I was just basically I was rambling about how excited I was for it, really, because I was waiting for my phone to load so I could talk about it properly.
Right. Okay. So fair enough. It's just because editing it, I'm just probably going to cut out all that bit so we just stream it together, and I'll just probably put in like a thing. We got disconnected here. But anyway, what else was shown at the Sony conference? Yeah, let's talk about the one that was started off with that I say, an amazing orchestra. God of War. Woo!
War.
Woo! Well, God of War, Dad of War. What the hell was that?
Dad of War. Now, I like the change of tone. I like the change of tone. How it was very obviously Kratos is Greek.
Yeah.
And how it's now gone from Greek mythology to Norse mythology.
Yeah, I mean, like, Kratos, like, I don't think he could have fit into many other mythologies, but like with Norse mythology, it does
It's
kind of
very,
suit
very
him.
similar to Norse and Greek mythology. Although they have their differences, there are a few similarities between them. Like you've got the really big, powerful god,
Yeah,
Zeus and Odin.
yeah.
Then you've got the children of Zeus and the children of Odin,
Mhm.
i.e., Thor, and everyone that was basically Zeus's child, because Zeus was a naughty boy and couldn't keep it in his pants. That's literally. I was once asked to describe Greek mythology, and I just said basically it's just Zeus not being able to keep it in his pants. He's got so many kids.
I just find it funny that you described it like that.
You could basically turn the whole Greek mythology into an episode of Benefit Street.
Well, let's just say I am looking forward to it. My dad's looking forward to it more than me. So yeah, I don't know what to say about that. If my dad likes that game
Does
more than me,
it does look really good though.
it does look good. It does look good. What else was
Just
shown?
highlight before we carry on though.
Oh,
The highlight of the whole God of War thing was that woman on the microphone that was doing those stupid sounds.
what was that? What was that? I can't remember. I got drunk
Like,
since. I can't remember.
when they were doing the orchestral intro,
Yeah,
and she's doing like before she started the singing part, she was just making like sounds on the mic like It was
Oh
just so
god.
funny. She just stood there like
Headphone users be warned, because I just got deafened.
But before we carry on, can we go on to the next thing
Yeah, go on.
and go on to me and my awesome, well-timing predictions for E3?
Oh, go on.
Now, obviously, we were talking. We
This
were
is his
watching the Sony
monologue.
conference.
This is his
Yeah, we were
monologue. I'll
watching.
sit even listen.
We were watching the Sony conference. We were talking on PlayStation at the same time, and I went, "I wonder if we could see an appearance from Hideo Kojima." And Brandon was like, "Well, he was speaking to Jeff Keighley earlier, so he might not be there because he's doing his tech demo. He could be just doing a floor thing." And I went, "Cue about 20 minutes. Hideo Kojima's gonna just." The lights are going to go off, the curtain's going to pull back, the floor's going to light up, and Hideo Kojima's going to walk down. Little behold, 10 minutes later, that exact thing happened.
I hate you.
And it was just brilliant.
I
Well
hate you.
timed.
I hate you, Mystic Meg.
I know, it's again, I've managed to do another E3 prediction.
Mystic Meg.
Like, 20 minutes before it happened as well, which was even better.
But, yeah. Mystic Meg. Yeah, talking of Hideo Kojima's game, now we're on that bloody topic, because I was going to talk about something else anyway. But, Hideo Kojima's game,
Amen, Brandon.
oh, never mind. Hideo Kojima's game looks very interesting. They're interesting, well, weird, and a very interesting choice of music again. I have to say though, I am looking forward to seeing what it is.
Oh, I'm massively looking forward to it. And I'm just so happy that Norman Reedus is still working on that project.
Yeah, it's just like I was left clueless after that. I was like, okay, what's this game about then? But
See,
the memes
I
are
like-
already out there.
I like the mystery. I like the mystery of what it's about.
The memes
But-
are already out there. I'd just like to point that out.
Yeah. You know what? I could imagine the credits going up, and the first letter, like Death Stranding comes out. You play through it all. It's a like your typical not like your typical, but it's your typical Hideo Kojima game. Very story driven and amazing, and then you get to the credits, and the credits going up, but in the order, the names, the first letter of each one spells out "Screw you, Konami."
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. That'd be good. That'd be really good. But have you seen, talking about Death Stranding, have you seen Yongei's video about it, about the whole trailer being an allegory of Konami, like his time
Yeah.
with Konami? To be honest, it's like I can see the correlation.
I saw the best picture the other day. Going back to childhood, can you remember Teletubbies?
Mhm.
It was the picture of the son from Teletubbies with Hideo Kojima's face in it.
Why? Why? Why?
It was just one of those things. It's
Why?
like, yeah,
Why? Why?
because someone wanted to make it.
Just why? Oh god. Anyway, we had a new Spider-Man game, which was like okay.
And what makes it even better is that wasn't pre-rendered. That was actual in-engine.
Yeah.
And apparently, it also featured gameplay too.
And it's being developed by those wonderful guys over at Insomniac.
Yes.
Which, if you don't know, people are the guys that made Ratchet and Clank. They've also made some other games which haven't been too good. Like, was it Fuse, which was
Yeah.
a bit poo.
it was a bit poo.
It was a good idea, but it was a bit.
I just like the way you were struggling to find a word. You went, it was a bit poo.
It was not a good idea, but it was a bit poo. Then you had the Resistance series. They had the Resistance series, which wasn't too bad. I actually quite like the Resistance series.
Was it futile?
Fuck off. But yeah, I was like, when they said Insomniac were doing it, so honestly, I thought Sucker Punch were gonna do that. When I saw the Spider-Man game, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's like who's developing this? I was like, Insomniac. I was honestly thinking Sucker Punch who developed the Infamous.
Yeah.
Because I mean, no, they've done a superhero game. They've done superhero games, so I was like, well, it makes sense for them to do. But maybe they're working, because I know Marvel owned the rights to the Spider-Man franchise, movie franchise, and that's probably why that Spider-Man game is a PS4 exclusive. But
Yeah.
maybe just maybe they're working on another PlayStation exclusive game, Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
With them being a PlayStation-owned developer, but it's a Marvel game. I don't know which hero it could be, but a friend of mine at uni suggested that maybe, and he says it's just a shove in the dark, but maybe, just maybe, that they bring an element of the Infamous universe into Marvel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it could work. I was like, but how would you personally like put it together? And he was like, well, think it, you put Dowsing in the Marvel universe, get its own comic going, and then like you'll have an Infamous movie, because superhero movies tend to do quite well, and with it being based on the game, and you know, it honestly, I think it'd work. Me personally, I was like, it's a pretty good idea, and I think it'd work. So yeah. But enough of Spider-Man, because I think we could talk forever about comics. The other game that caught my eye was that Days Gone.
Yes.
You're a biker bounty hunter that's, I would say, has lost his wife / fiance, and there's a zombie apocalypse. Well, I say zombie. It looks like fucking World War Z in that game. Looking zombies galore. And just bullets, 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 and even more bullets and zombies everywhere. Did you see how many zombies there were on the fucking screen? Like, there were
Yeah,
so
basically,
many.
I was reading an article about it, and it said, "Don't count, just run."
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good advice. Sound advice. I would, I would listen to that. And I liked how your character interacted with the environment around him.
Yeah,
But they showed off quite a lengthy bit of gameplay, which makes me. I mean, it's not coming out until next year, but it makes me think that it's quite far into development.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I mean, I like zombies and I like post-apocalyptic scenarios.
Everyone loves zombies and post-apocalyptic games.
Anyway,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, we've got Days Gone.
yeah,
Then there was another game that we already knew about, but it's actually got a confirmed date and that now. Horizon Zero Dawn.
yes.
Why is it that game? Every time they show it off, it looks better and better.
Because I think they're just making it better and better each time they're showing it off.
No, but it's just like oh,
Wow.
funny. No, but like everything showing off, it just seems to wow me,
Yeah.
and it's like I'm really excited to see what this game's going to play out like because it's a very interesting concept. It's like you're in a post-apocalyptic world where humanity's gone back to caveman like
Yeah.
periods, and then
Well, if you live in some place in the UK, that's not changed.
no, but we've got humanity that's been made to like go back to like
Bows and arrows and
go back to like the caveman period, but they still got some of that remnant of the technology. But it seems that technology's overrun the world because you've got these what I would and everybody else has seen to call them robo dinosaurs.
yeah.
Um,
Robosaurs.
it just looks it looks really good and it's got a very interesting concept. It's very good gameplay, and I just can't wait to see more of it.
I've made a breakthrough.
Oh
Maybe because Microsoft or Sony, sorry, were developing that game,
yeah.
right? Maybe that's why Michael Bay couldn't put that many Dinobots into Transformers. And by the time the next Transformers film's out, that this game will be out, so we'll be able to take some of the Dinobots from it.
I just they look. They also looked a bit like the Zords from Power Rangers.
Power Rangers. I could imagine like some kind of like Power Ranger thing being thrown in there, like you're fighting someone like a boss fight, and then like he jumps off a dinosaur, does a backflip, lands on the floor, and then the grass just spontaneously bursts into flames.
Yeah. But enough of Horizon Zero Dawn because we're getting quite far. Like it's going to be a quite lengthy podcast. I'd say this is perhaps the biggest surprise. I mean, it's bittersweet, but I mean, I think it's a good sign of things to come, hopefully. And I think you know what I'm on about.
Go on.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yes.
Holy hell! I was not expecting. I mean, they had all those rumors of
Yeah.
having that. I was like about being in Skyland as well. So Skyland's a bit is true. I've seen some gameplay of me in Skylanders, and it looks freaking awesome. But they were going to remaster from the ground up Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and 3 for the PS4.
Yes.
Now, Activision own the rights to Crash Bandicoot, but
Yeah.
Naughty Dog developed the first 3.
Mhm.
Now, I don't want to pester Sony or Activision because I mean they're very generous in giving us any more Crash anyway. But
Give it back to Naughty Dog.
oh, that'd be cool. But you know, I couldn't like push you to do a remaster from the ground up of Crash Team Racing, maybe?
Yes. Or Crash Nitro Kart.
No, Crash Team Racing. Please, please. Or Crash Bash,
In that,
because Crash
in
Bash.
that, in that, in,
Crash
in that
Bash.
case, then, if we're getting a Crash remaster this year, maybe next year they're going to announce a Spyro remaster and a real Spyro, not this Skylanders stuff.
Don't get your hopes up.
You've got Spyro and then Spyro on meth. Spyro on meth.
Don't get your hopes up.
Or Croc.
That's wishful thinking beyond utter belief.
Just Croc.
Croc's a dead franchise. I don't want to say it, but Croc is a dead franchise.
Even if, do you know, like they've been putting games from like the PS2 and that onto the Sony store, like Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, San Andreas, number 3. Just put Croc on there, please. Please. Sony, listen, just put Croc on there. Even if it was in its originality, just put it on there.
Yeah, I mean, like, I like how when Sean Layden came on the stage, he actually embraced the fact he was, like, teasing everybody for the past few months. He's like, hey, look, no t-shirt this time. I was like,
Yeah.
You sarcastic
I
bastard.
thought it was going to be another tease again, because as he came out, if you saw on the floor, you could see the silhouette of Crash on the floor, and I was going to go, please don't be teasing us. Please don't be teasing us again.
Honestly, I would like a silhouette of Crash following me wherever I went. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
But only if Morgan Freeman was narrating every single thing you did at the same time.
No, I'd rather have Jeremy Clarkson narrating everything I did in my life.
Jeff Keighley.
Jeremy Clarkson.
Yeah, Jeremy Clarkson would be a good one.
Or Michael Caine.
Samuel L. Jackson.
We're getting off topic again here.
I know, but could you just go on to that? Just go on to that. Like, if Samuel L. Jackson was narrating the whole E3, it'd be like, this motherfucker just made a motherfucking surprise.
Anyway. We'll talk about I'd say this is equal to that, or if not bigger, because I don't think anybody's expecting the direction of this. I think you know what I'm on about here. Resident Evil 7.
Yes.
Very interesting decision for it to go to first person. And that demo that they showed off has actually been available to the media because they played it in the VR version because it was actually called The Kitchen.
Yeah.
So people have actually fucking been playing that thing for ages, and now that Kitchen VR demo has now been made public. So it's weird, but I know they said that's already separate from the full main game. That's just like a teaser to get you say this is the
So you never
atmosphere.
know, the full main game might not end up being...
Nah, it's first person.
It's definitely been first
Yeah, it's first person.
Which is good, because I do like first person survival horrors. But then again, third person is like sort of your niche thing about a survival horror.
I think what caught many people by surprise is because it's not third person, because Resident Evil usually associated with third person. And
Well, sort of look at things like Silent Hill.
no, I think the reason. Well, I know a lot of the PT team that were working on there, like jumped ship from Konami and joined Capcom.
Yep.
Because that got canned. Was it like early last year or like late like the year before that?
Yeah.
And so as a result, they all jumped ship to that to make Resi 7, and I've heard a lot of criticism on it, and I was like, it's not Resi at all, it's not third person, it's just like, have you not played the Dark Side Chronicles, or or have you not played the Survivor games?
Mm.
No, they're first person. Or Resident Evil Dead Aim. Is it Dead Aim? Yeah, Dead Aim. It's just, it just seems like a really stupid argument to have. I mean, yes, I know people are like, oh, we want a survival horror resi, and you're getting one. It's just in first person. And now people are kicking up a stink. It's in first person. You
Yeah.
can't please everybody, can you? You didn't want an action resi, so you haven't got one. Now you've got a survival horror resi. It's in first person. You don't want it. It's like, well, you can't have it all those, can you?
But I think mainly like the first person thing will suit going into VR as well.
Yeah. But one of the most dumb comments that I read on YouTube, and I think it was on the official Capcom trailer, not on say the PlayStation one,
Yeah.
or whatever. But it was, oh, this isn't resi. What's a house? What's a house slash mansion in the middle of the woods with people in it? It's not resi. I was like,
Have you played Resi 1?
yeah, I was like, this is not resi. It's not for die-hard resi fans. I was like, oh my god, have you not played the first resi? Like, that's a mansion set in the middle of a fucking forest, woods, forest, whatever you want to call it. Set in the middle of that.
Shrubbery. It's a mansion in shrubbery.
It's set in the fucking, set in a mansion in the woods, isolated
With
from the
foliage.
effectively isolated from the outside world. Just like, why the fuck? Shut up, you. And why? And why you would post something like that when you know you're clearly wrong? Oh, sweet fucking Jesus! I mean, I'm looking forward to Resi 7. I really am. I mean, I'm a big Resi fan, and then when I told my dad, because as you know, my dad's a huge Resi fan.
Yeah.
I told him, do you know the announced Resi 7? He's like, what? He says, yeah, look at the trailer. And there's a demo online. And I showed him the trailer, and he played the demo, and then he came downstairs to me, because I was downstairs. I was just watching TV at the time, and he goes, can you pre-order? Yeah, I was like, pre-order what? I was like, can you pre-order Resi 7? I'm like, no, I don't think you can. And he was like, well, when you can, let me know, because I'm going to pre-order it. I was like, okay. I was like, okay then. Well, you know. So yeah, he's excited for that. Let's just move on now, because we are approaching a very long time.
Legend of Zelda Breath of Wild.
We will now talk about that.
Yes.
Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And the reason why we'll talk about that is because that had one of the most, and I'm like, Nintendo doesn't really do massive shows on E3, but when they do, they decide they end up fucking knocking it out the ballpark. And I have to say, even though they didn't all hold a conference, they made their presence fucking known with Zelda. Yeah. They said Zelda's gonna be a big enough game, and now a lot of people were going oh, it's not. They can't just have one game shown at E3. I'm like, well,
you can.
Well, you can.
Read
clearly
that it's gonna be between 5 and 9 times the size of the map of Skyrim.
What?
Yeah, I don't know how true the article is, but yeah.
Fucking hell.
If I find the article, I'll send it you. Then you can do a little update video on it. But I'm sure I read between 5 and 9 times larger than the map of Skyrim.
I just don't see the. It just looked so good, and the art style was gorgeous. Oh my god, is the art style gorgeous? I was reading comments. I know YouTube comments is like the fastest way of getting an STD online, but they're like, oh, it looks so dated. It looks like such an old game. That's like art style over graphics. Like graphically, it looked pretty cool anyway. But I mean, art style. Oh my god, I was blown away by
Yeah.
the art style of it. It was like, and the gameplay of it. And as you know, I'm not the biggest Zelda player in the world, but I have a lot of respect for the series. But if my brother didn't have a Wii U, I would go out and buy a Wii U just for that. But then they said it was coming out for NX, so I was like, yeah, I think I'll wait till the NX comes out and I'll go, yeah, I'll have the
Yeah.
NX. But yeah, I will be getting that because it looks fucking phenomenal. It looks wonderful, and I can't
Not as
wait to play
phenomenal
it.
as AJ Styles, though.
Yes, just as phenomenal as AJ Styles. Yes. But yeah, I think universally we can say that was the game we liked a lot. And because we're going to be talking about the
There's
games
not
that we
jokes.
like, we're going to be talking about the games we liked. So just name a list of games you liked. So pick 3 games that you like the look of, and I'll pick 3 games I like the look of.
Well, obviously, Death Stranding.
Yep.
Uh, South Park Fractured Butthole.
Yep.
And probably Resi 7. Dishonored 2.
All right. Okay. My 3 games, Resi 7, because I want to know more about that. And
That was.
I want to know what the fuck that dummy thing is for in the demo.
Yeah.
I've tried everything in that. I was just like pointing that out. My next game would be Final Fantasy 15.
Yep.
I mean, I like the look of it. I mean, I pre-ordered it. I've talked about it high-end def. People are going to be sick and tired of me about talking about it. Yeah. I'm gonna go to 3/4 here because I don't know which one to decide here. But I'm going to say the next game would be Sniper Elite 4.
Yes.
Now I know it's a bit more of the same, but to be honest, if it wasn't, I think I'd cry because like it's that action I want. It's fun game. It's mindless fun. It's a
Yeah.
formula that works. If it works, don't change it because if you change it, you're more likely gonna fuck it up. So, it works. And the next game would be the Berserk Warriors
Oh,
game.
and while we're here, before you carry
Oh
on,
god.
new Spider-Man movie adds Far Cry 3 villain. The voice actor for the bad guy from for Far Cry 3 will be the bad guy for Spider-Man
Oh
movie.
god. We'll
So,
talk
yeah,
more. We'll talk more about that in our next podcast.
obviously, but I just thought.
But my other game would be the Berserk Warriors game.
Yeah.
Now, I did not expect them to do a Berserk Warriors game. But I've seen the trailer that came out. I think it was yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
And it looked bloody. It looked gory. It looked fun as fuck. It looked gorgeous. And it's a Warriors game, and I love Dynasty Warriors. Hate on me all you like. I don't care how repetitive it gets. It's just mindless, dumb fun. I don't care. It's just fun as hell to go and hack away at people and KO people because they don't get killed in Dynasty Warriors. They just KO. They all get back up after. But in Berserk, I don't think they'll be getting up after because, like, it's Berserk. So, yeah, I think their entrails be scattered across every inch of the scenery that you play in. But now, we'll finish it off here, but we'll talk about now one game that impressed us a hell of a lot. Now, I'll let you pick your game, and you'll talk about it for a little bit. And then I'll talk about my game.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go with Dishonored 2.
Righto.
Just the variety of new powers that they've got. They could have easily have just gone. You can play as Emily, but she's got the same powers as Corvo. But they sort of took his powers and adapted them for her and gave her her own ones. Like in Dishonored, Corvo had Blink, where he could literally just blink from A to B. Where Emily has this sort of like tentacle-y sort of grappling arm that she can extend out. Sort of like, say like Spider-Man's web, and he shoots the web at the wall and he can like just sling himself over to the wall.
Yeah.
It's very similar to that. But then she's got like this other power where she can link up multiple enemies together and then sort of set a landmine. Lure one enemy to the landmine, and then that enemy would die and the other two would also die. So sort of like a spirit link. Now, like if you ever play Pokemon, there's a move called Perish Song, where if you use it 3 turns later, both combatants die. It's sort of like that. Connect them together, drop the attack. He walks into the thing, poof, 3 of them are dead. And there's also one that distracts enemies, like a mirror sort of thing that keeps flicking between enemies to keep them distracted for like so long. That's just like 3 of the most notable things. And another one being when you can do like sort of, it's really hard to describe this one, but sort of like, have you played The Darkness?
Yes, I have.
Do you know how he's got like the tentacles?
Yes.
Now imagine them as claws going across the floor, and you could sort of use that to sort of creep up on people and assassinate them.
Oh, okay.
And then in the
gameplay, I saw that in the gameplay. Yeah.
Yeah, and in the gameplay trailer, they showed us like a part of a mission that you go to, where you've got to like find the history of this place, and you've got like a mirror, and it can flick you between the present and the past. And you sort of, there could be an enemy in the present, like sort of with his back to you. You could go into the past, walk all the way around him, go through the door, and then go back into the present. He'd still be there, and you're just carrying on through the corridor. Or you could go, oh, he's there, but there's another guy there. Flick to the past, go to where the guy would be, look into the mirror to make sure he's there, flick there, kill him, and then flick back. Sort of like, did you play the latest Devil May Cry?
Yes.
Do you know, like, you had those ones that sort of phased out and then would attack you from, like, above or the side?
Yeah. Oh, God, there.
Yeah, sort of like those. You could just sort of, like, flick back, creep up. Well, you wouldn't even have to creep up, you could just walk up. Then flick back in, kill him quickly, and then flick out.
Yeah, I know you're on right, yeah. So, that's your game of E3?
Yep.
I think you know mine.
Mafia 3.
Bingo.
Right. I'm apologising for this, guys, but this podcast's now going to be over 6 hours long.
Funny. Nah, as you know, I'm quite straight to the point. And that's one thing my lecturers at uni don't like. Because when I give an answer, instead of writing out a paragraph, I can sum up.
You're straight to the point.
I can give the answer in like 1 line, and they're like, "No, you need to explain it." I'm like, "Luke, it's explained perfectly in 1 friggin' sentence."
I like to see you do my chemistry exams in 1 line.
No, but it's like I find ways to like say, instead of like taking like 2 pages to write an answer.
Yeah,
I can
do it in sort of like half that.
I can do it in a paragraph, and people will be like, "But you need to write more." He says, "Yeah, but quality over quantity." And it's just, yeah, I just have that knack of getting straight to the freaking point when it concerns like exams and anyway, just getting straight to the point. Like I know the answer, it's there, done. You don't need any of that explaining mumbo jumbo. Just look, it's the answer, Luke. Done. But yeah, my game of E3, after that, my little mini run, my game of E3 is Mafia 3. Why? Well, everything they showed me just impressed me a lot. I mean a ton. I don't know what they've done with that game, but it just appeals to me in every single aspect. I mean, I've always I've always liked the whole like mafia and organized crime stories and like entertainment.
Yeah.
I've always liked like Godfather, Scarface, Reservoir Dogs, Goodfellas. I could go on and on and on. But I've always liked organized crime and media, and like I've always liked that fascination, because like films and games and TV glorifies it a lot, and I like it because it just shows you a style of like people and style of like clothing and attitudes and music that we once used to love and accept, and I still love and accept that stuff. I know, like the whole 1940s music and all that, and the pinstripe suits. I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but this one's Mafia 3 is set in 1968, and you play as a half black, half white protagonist called Lincoln Clay, and it's just, I mean, 1968 in America, and it's set in New Bordeaux, which is their version of New Orleans. And if anybody knows anything about their history, and their history of America, they know that 1968 was quite a tumultuous time for the world as a whole, but mainly for America. Like, America was going through some very, very turbulent times and some very drastic changes during 1968. And
Yeah.
the 60s as a whole, but 1968 was quite a standout period of time. Because we had the assassination of Martin Luther King and Robert F. Kennedy, and then we had civil rights movement, and then you had the whole Vietnam War was like going on decline, and people's attitudes were changing. It was a very, very, very different time to be to live in, and racism was prevalent back then. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Hangar 13 as developers are going to handle those topics, because
Yeah.
you can't make a game set in 1968 with a half black, half white protagonist and not touch upon racism. You just can't, because it's such a prevalent thing, isn't there? It's like, it'd be like making a game set in Victorian London and not mentioning anything about the oppression of like the people in like Whitechapel and the conditions of Whitechapel, and the monarchy. Like how everybody adored the monarchy but hated the government.
Yeah.
And it's just, I want to see how they handle it, because they've got to handle it Hangar 13 have got to handle that topic very, very carefully.
Yeah.
And if they've handled it carefully and handled it very well, we could be onto a very, very interesting story, and one of the best games, I'd say, of this generation so far. And what they showed off the gameplay, looks amazing. The gunplay looks smooth as hell, better than Mafia 2's. But one thing that really, really interested me was the sit-downs, where you got your three lieutenants, you got Burke, Cassandra, and Vito. And what they showed off, Burke had next to no territory at all. Vito only had one, and Cassandra had about 3 or 4. And Vito went and said, "Yeah, I don't mind if you don't give it a territory, but I think it's my time because I've only got the one." Cassandra was pretty much open. You saying you can give it me, but at the moment I don't care. But it's fine if you do. Burke, on the other hand, because he didn't have any, he was like, "This is the last straw. You don't give me any. That's it." And he gave the territory to Vito, which Vito is thankful for. But Burke then said, "Well, that's it. That's me and you, Clay, done. That was it." And then the bit after showed you going after Burke, which means then you've only got 2 underbosses. So
Yeah.
one of them will betray you, but because that'll then mean there are going to be multiple playthroughs. Because then, who do you want betray you? Do you want Cassandra betray you? Is it Burke betray you? Vito? I think a lot of people are going to give a lot of their territory to Vito because of Mafia 2.
Yeah.
I mean, me included, I will be giving a lot of attention towards Vito just because of Mafia 2. But if there's a way of keeping all three happy, then I will do it. But I will keep Vito a priority because of Mafia 2. But yeah. Mafia 3 is my game of E3. Just everything they showed wowed me. Absolutely wowed me. And yeah. And that's it for our podcast.
Yep.
That's it for After E3 podcast. It was again a rather average podcast littered with net problems and internet connection
Cutaways
issues
and off the rails banter and
yes, it's gone on longer than it should have done. But oh well. Our next podcast, if you are available this Sunday.
yeah, I should be available this Sunday.
This Sunday or next week, and we'll talk about wrestling. We'll talk about WWE gaming, comics,
everything that's happened in the past.
Yeah, anything that's happened in the past week
Yep.
in TV,
Just in
comics,
general.
anime, manga, anything related like that. You know, WWE. You know,
Yeah.
we will talk about it, and yeah, those topics.
If there's any suggestions for things that you want us to talk about, drop them in the comment section below.
Yeah, or hit me up on Twitter.
Yeah, or there, or or on Twitter. Yeah, but either obviously you know what my Twitter handle is and everything.
Yeah, hit me up on Twitter. So, yeah, yeah, because those topics are what the podcast was originally for, but because we had so many problems before the E3 thing, I couldn't get anything out.
Yep.
But now everything seems to be somewhat of on track, and it's slowly getting there. Yeah, we're going to our first actual proper podcast that's not E3 related.
Mm-hmm.
Either this Sunday or Monday or Tuesday of next week.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah. Thanks for listening to a rather average podcast about the events of E3. And I hope you enjoyed it. So, I'll see you in the next podcast and video and all that jazz. Yeah. Goodbye.
See ya.
That was a really crap outro. That was really crap. Anyway, that was